It's the Memphis Sports Network. WMC Memphis, WMFS HD2 Bartlett Memphis, WMFS FM and HD1 Bartlett, WMFS Memphis, ESPN 790 AM and 92.9 FM ESPN.
Watch the sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me. Where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time. Take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And boy, we have been all around Tacoma, Washington, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Columbia, Tennessee. We're going to switch gears now, talk to one of our favorite professional anglers out of Knoxville, Tennessee, is our good friend Ott Defoe. Good morning, Ott.
Morning. How are you fellas doing?
Oh, we're doing great, Ott. And I know that I wanted to get Ott on because talk a little bit about the Classic, Ott. Lake Conroe was not. It was a tough place to fish. I mean, we've had on. We've had Jordan Lee on. We've had Edwin Evers on. We've talked a lot about it. But talk about your experience there, finishing fifth, almost 50 pounds. A lot of folks were saying it's going to take 70 to win. So, tell us a little bit about the experience of that Classic.
Yeah, it was kind of a tougher event than a lot of the Classics past. But the thing with Conroe is it's got some really big fish in it, but it just doesn't have a huge population of fish. And you combine that with the fact that it's a 16-inch size limit.
Yes.
And it make for some tough days.
Well, talk about the 9.9. That wasn't. I don't guess you mind talking about that, do you? So
no. That was a pretty cool fish. Catch a fish that big on the final day of the Classic and caught it on a new storm topwater called a cover pop. Just really a really cool deal to catch one like that. At such an important time. And
well, walk us through it about did you know there was a big fish in that area? Because that last day, I don't know, the Classics all just do one day. I mean, the last day. These are the last 3 or 4 Classics have been amazing of what's happened on the last day. And so walk us through about how you found that fish. You talked about what you used. Did you know there was a big fish in there? Had you found it, or just and what time of the day was it? Was it shallow? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, that was I did not know there was. With Conroe there can be a big one anywhere, but I certainly didn't know that there was a fish that big in that area. But it was actually the first keeper that I landed. I had a couple keepers on that had come off, but it was about 10:55, and I pulled into this cove where I had caught some fish the first day, and there were fish spawning in there, and I thought I would go in there and try to catch a few and pull in, and it was, like my third cast after I stopped, and I that one. I had actually threw that popper up behind some stick ups, a little ways, and then started to reel my cast in to make another cast. And when I turned the handle, I saw him.
Oh, you saw him. Okay. Yeah.
Stopped and started twitching again, and it was under the bait, following it back and forth, and then finally come up and committed and ate it. But yeah, it was a wild deal for sure.
Heart throbbing. Now, have you caught one that big? Is that during tournament play?
I've caught one fish larger than that, and it was in a tournament. It was in the Southern Open down on Lake. I was actually fishing on Lake Kissimmee, but yeah, this one was almost my biggest, but liked it by just a pound.
Wow! And again, we're talking our good friend Ott Defoe out of Knoxville, Tennessee, and I know Ott. That fish just on the final day, you're going to it, and you're one of the few guys that had 15 fish. I mean, it was tough to even get the limit each day.
Yeah.
I don't know how many guys did that, but not many.
I think it was maybe 4 of us is what I had.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I know, it's 21,000 acre impoundment. It's got a lot of boat watchers and everything going on. I know Houston was a great site, but you guys were really up against it, and I guess you realized that quickly that it was going to be tough, didn't you?
Yeah. We knew going in, with that 16-inch limit, catching a limit every day was going to be a difficult task. And even though I had a limit every day, the second and third days I only caught 5 keepers.
5 keepers.
It wasn't. But like I went through a lot of fish. I went through a lot of 14, 15 and a half inch fish.
Yeah. Well, I know that finishing 5th, you do know you're a millionaire now, right? So
I had saw that, yeah.
Oh, way to go. I don't know too many millionaires. So, I know how to get in touch with you. That's the bad thing, but and that's a milestone, isn't it, really? I mean, to think back, Ott, on your career, and you've been very open with us on Outdoors with Larry Ray, talking about your career, your family, your wife Jenny and the daughter Abby and the twins, Parker and Elizabeth, to be part of this thing and make this money. Is it beyond your dreams? I know you wanted to be this. You were a little kid growing up and wanted to do this thing, like 12 years old. I think you told us one time. But where you are now, how old are you now?
I'm 31.
Wow. Okay, buddy. Talk about your career and where you are and where you started.
Yeah, I wanted to do this since I was 9. And
9, okay.
It was always what I dreamed of, what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know exactly what it meant all the time, but I just knew that it was certainly what I wanted to do. And, the Lord's really blessed me to be able to do it and make a living and provide for my family. But yeah, it's looking back on it, it's like, man, how fast it happens and, how things come and go. But yeah, it's really been a blessing.
Well, I can't believe 85 tournaments. That's a lot of tournaments. That's a lot of miles. In the money 66 times. Now, that's like a golfer. He don't make the cut, he goes home. And that's what you guys have to do. A lot of people don't realize that just being in the money is part of it. 54, top 30. I'm just reading this stuff. It blows my mind because we've talked to you since your career has been going on, but you're pretty grounded. Do the kids realize what you're doing?
They do now, yeah.
How old are
pretty excited?
Yeah, how old are the twins now?
The twins are 5. They'll be 6 in June.
So they know what's going on. So they
they've kind of got it figured out now, and really think it's pretty cool.
So when you go to church at Lions Creek Baptist Church, do they know who Ott Defoe is?
They have figured out a little bit, yeah.
I bet.
They did first, but they figured it out a little bit more now.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they pass the offering plate by you twice. 3 times, Charlie said over there and everything. So I know you've been to Ross Barnett. Talk a little bit about the Texas Fest, Lake Sam Rayburn, and as you get ready for that in May 21st, 17th to 21st.
Yeah. Rayburn is really, from everything I've heard, it has really been on fire. You look at the tournament there, it's fishing really, really good. So that should be an excellent venue, an excellent tournament. I've never competed on Rayburn.
Okay.
It's a big lake.
Big lake, yeah.
There's plenty of room to spread out and really make for an excellent fishery.
Well, I know you got a busy schedule. Right after that, you go to one of my favorite places, and that's Lake Dardanelle in Russellville, Arkansas, where close to where I went to school there and everything, and that's a pretty good sized lake too.
It is, yeah. Dardanelle's a good size fishery. It's not huge, but good size, and plenty of room to spread out, and a lot of options there is a good thing.
Well, Ott, we wish you nothing but success, buddy. I mean, anybody that's caught, I looked at this thing. This couldn't be right. You couldn't have caught 3,300 pounds of fish. You know, that's and every one of them is important, right? The people don't realize that. I mean,
every single, like you're talking about getting a check, at every tournament, it's an ounce between 50th and 51st. So making that cut every single ounce matters huge in our career. Yeah,
in your career, and I know just like Jordan Lee down there, Jordan came out of nowhere, and that 9.9 pounder. How much did that mean to you in the Classic?
It was huge, you know. that when I caught it, because I was a good ways back. I don't remember what place I was going out the final day, but I wasn't as far back as Jordan. But when I caught it, I thought, man, if I catch 2 more of those, I could win.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
You can't fish that big, and you realize how easy things can happen.
It is.
But,
yeah.
Yeah. So that was excellent. Jordan did excellent. He's an outstanding young man, and
he
make a Classic champ.
I like when a 31-year-old guy says a 25-year-old guy's a nice young man.
Young man, yeah.
You know, okay. And now I'm thinking it's odd. In fishing years, you're not 31, you're about 74. You know, so
I like it when somebody calls me young man.
Yeah, well, when we call you, but there's no time. How many times do you think you've cast in your career? Huh?
Man, I don't know.
Got a bionic arm.
Don't even think about it. I know when you go to sleep at night, one more cast.
Yeah.
Hey, Ott, we appreciate you, buddy, taking time. I know you're a busy man, and thanks to Jamie Matthews at BASS. They do a great job, and we'll stay in touch. Got a lot of fans in Memphis pulling for you. Okay, buddy?
Sounds great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Ott. Okay, Ott Defoe, Arthur Ott Defoe, a really nice guy on the circuit. And, you know, he was way back in the Classic. And when you do those kind of things,
like I said, those ounces mean a lot.
Ounces mean a lot. You know, we don't
all the way up to 5th place.
Yeah, you know, when I play golf, I break 100. It means a lot. You know, I mean, when we do those kind of things, and I know Charlie. You know, you mentioned there, a lot of these guys are really faithful. They got families, things like that, and the twins. He said, when you got 4 kids, what's he got? 3 kids? He got 3 kids and wife Jenny. He's on the road all the time. You know, it's like the next cast if you don't catch that fish. And he was way back, and so he finishes 5th and wins money, and now a millionaire.
Yeah, like with the next cast, maybe I can feed my family,
pay
my bills.
Yeah, well, you know, he just did. You know, that's for sure. But Ott Defoe, Google him. He's got a great Facebook page, and when I look at this guy, you know, these guys really have a. So he's going to be. Here's what he's going to be. He's going to be Lufkin, Texas, Russellville, Arkansas. Let's see, Waddington, New York, Plattsburgh, New York, and then Michigan. Now the old BASS used to go to, you know, stay around the South and stuff like that. These guys have a life. All right, let's take a break, and here we go. It's geezer time. We're going to try, right? He's already called, the one and only, the gray-bearded adventurer, Dale Sanders. We're going to try to get him. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry. We will close it out with Dale on the Appalachian Trail at age 81.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors